This podcast is brought to you by Meteorate.
Welcome to Card Chaos version 17.
Version 17. We're in some new digs.
We are, and this is a sort of temporary dig.
Oh, it's probably only for this one.
Oh no,
maybe the next one. Yeah,
yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
But then we're one of our new offices over at we're at Meteorate, and it's pretty cool actually.
The office is really.
This is
cool.
not too bad actually, either from a studio point of view. We could have turned this into a studio.
I was actually thinking that.
We did say that originally.
Did we really?
We did, but then we changed our mind.
Who poo-pooed that one?
Me.
Do you know how many different plans I saw of where everyone was going to sit in this office?
72.
172. And like sometimes it would change after 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then last week
because everyone wanted a say in it. That's why.
Yeah, and then last week I walk in and it was like, you're talking about something, you look at me, oh yeah, I haven't told you about that yet. It's just like, okay, we're right to go.
Corsica Cardboard just joined us.
Oh, that's a great Pete. I shouldn't. Oh yeah, Luke, we'll get to the TikTok thing soon.
Yeah, well, as you can see, there's just two of us these days, and TikTok's our number one priority.
Yeah, it is. Pete's online too. He's another. Hey, Pete,
genius.
Pete, I'm going to say something that Brett doesn't know about yet, but we've got problems with the Kachunka. Anyway,
Pete, come and fix the Kachunka.
Come on, help us.
Come on, look at the new offices and help us with the Kachunka.
We'll she had a really good pub lunch.
I could probably fix it.
Well, we're going to see that after the show.
Okay, sounds good. Patrick Savalos, no relation to Kate Sobrano.
No relation to Cedric Sabalos either.
Who's Cedric Savalos?
Played in the NBA. And Patrick, mate, you'll have an email tomorrow too. Just keep an eye out for that and send me a message.
Well, let's get cracking. Welcome to Card Chaos. The round 17, or it's actually round 2 in most of the footy codes, but here in Australia, it's round 2. Yeah, round 2. We're going into.
No, we had round 0.
That's right. They did. Yeah, AFL had round 0.
Well, NRL did too.
Nah, that was part of round 1.
Yeah, but yeah, true.
Yeah, so
we're
round 2.
We're up to round 2.
And
it's the first time in a long time that both codes
are actually
at the same time.
It's weird.
Which doesn't make sense because the NRL has more weeks in it than the AFL. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I'm sure they'll squish it
out.
But thanks to our sponsors, because that's always important.
Let's see if we remember them all.
Official Beer Co.
That's 1.
Local card shop.
Yeah, 2.
Platinum Standard Grading, PSG.cards.
Yep, I like that website.
Meteorate Sport, owners of the Taranaki Airs, who I can announce successfully won the West Side Blitz on the weekend and brought our first trophy home. Which, have you seen the trophy?
No, I haven't.
It's a piece of wood.
It's
literally a piece of wood with winners West Side Blitz.
The Kiwis, they don't really care about.
They don't.
Silverware.
It's not silverware. It's made of wood.
Yeah, because that's what you get out in the paddock.
There you go. Maybe it's recycled.
Yeah, they were chasing the bloody sheep.
That could be it.
And that's what
what we won.
Sheep.
But we actually won an account back.
Oh, for and against.
Yeah, for and against. So
yeah,
that's good news. Well done, boys.
I saw the scores of the second game they played. Massacre.
Yeah, there was a few massacres, actually. It was a bit of bloodshed. But the boys all got on really well. Sam McKinnon's very, very happy. I met with him this morning, and he's very excited about the season. They're all in town now except for 3.
Yep.
They arrived this week. So our new import, Elijah Minnie is his name. He's ex-college player.
Is he tall?
From the US. He's 6'7", 6'8". And
tall for a mini.
Really athletic. Yeah,
okay.
Tall for a mini. I wanted to see if he was a countryman, mini countryman. But then we've got Sam Froling, who went down on last Wednesday.
Yep.
To Melbourne United, who got up yesterday against Tassie. And so Sam arrives on Thursday, and then we're only waiting on Flynn. So Flynn Cameron will arrive once he's playing for Melbourne. They're in the final series.
They'll be finished in a week.
Yeah, so they'll be there for round 1, which is exciting.
That's pretty awesome. Now, Sam McKinnon, when I was growing up, he was, I won't say an idol of mine because I was probably older than him, so I wasn't a kid looking up to him. But when I was in my early 20s...
He's 6'4", so you probably did
I would have been looking up to him. But when I was in my 20s and followed the local basketball really strong, he was the rookie of the year and all the rest of it. So when you say that he was really excited, I say with all respect, he's such an unflappable character.
Oh, without doubt.
Seeing him excited.
He's like this. I'm very excited about that.
Exactly. And that's what I think will make him a good coach. That he's very level-headed.
He's very level-headed. We have obviously chats about everything, being the owners, but it's been really interesting just to see his take on things. And like, you know me very well, I'm very blunt to the point and straight out there.
Never.
Whereas he's like, well, if we did this, then this will happen. If we did that, then this will happen. And he works really closely with Chris Anstey, and between the two of them, it's really, really cool to watch. I'll tell you,
because Chris is not like that, is he?
No, Chris is blunt to the point, but at the same time, thinks before he talks.
So that's why they work well together.
Yeah, very much so. It's just really interesting watching it, being on that side now, because that's one of my lifelong goals was to own a sports team, and now we do. We sit there and go, wow, this is really cool. Like they're talking about what they eat, what they drink, what they do, what exercises, all this stuff, like 24/7 that they're given to do this. And it's like, wow, it's really cool.
But even I was in the operational meeting for Theirs this morning, and seeing the general manager over there, I could see the look in his face. He was so happy that I think that they had a successful weekend, but also that the season's here now. You can just see that stress of that build up now is taken away, because I've seen that growing in the last couple of months with him.
Yeah, we're 3 weeks away, or 2 weeks away now from round 1, which is an away game, and then round 2 is an away game. Our first home game's April 13. But what we're going to do as part of this show and as part of all the other stuff that we do, we're going to keep people updated on where they're at and what they're going to do, how they're looking. We'll also put out in all the social medias links to the games, so we want people watching the games, because every game's streamed live. And if it's a 7:30 game over there, it's 4:30 here.
Yep.
So we've set up in our new offices downstairs was like a seating area.
Oh, is that why we've got that
TV
there?
and we can watch all the games live.
So if games are on the weekend, they will be shown at local card shop as well.
There we go.
We'll
so we're also talking obviously Hotel Trentham down in Victoria.
Yep.
So we'll be looking at some other places here on the coast to do that as
well. And I know that there's a few tours, or is it 1 or 2 tours that are planned to go over there?
There's two tours will happen this year. There's that, and then there's obviously a big NBA tour in March next year that we'll be talking about more later on.
But for the Airs,
there'll be 1 to 2, 2 tours I think is going to happen. One was on Mother's Day, so I got a bit in trouble for that one. So.
Well, if anyone wants, I'm not going on a tour because I get told to stay here and do the card chaos.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I am heading over for the last home game.
Well, I think that will be
is that one of the tours?
One of the tours, yeah, because it's the Harlem Globetrotters.
Right, and that's Brett,
that's part
here
of it.
in public. On public record.
You're gonna put me up for something here. I can feel it.
Yeah. You're gonna look after us for tickets.
Of course.
Yeah. We'll get ourselves over there. We'll do all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But we'll be.
But what we'll do is we'll actually have a tour, and in that tour, though, you'll be able to see some of the local sites, do the local stuff, and we'll actually get tickets to the Airs. You'll be treated like royalty because you're part of our family. And secondly, from the Harlem Globetrotters, whatever we can do, it's at our stadium, so we can.
How cool is that?
It's pretty awesome.
It's the day after too, and that's what got me. And then if Taranaki were to qualify for a home final. When Taranaki qualify for a home final, that's only a few days after as well.
It is, yeah. So we'll be there for that week. It'll be home and away. I think it's a 3-game series for the finals as well.
Yep. Have you given someone the keys here for when the whole office isn't here? So
we're all in Taranaki.
Because I know there's at least 1, 2, 3 of us that will be coming across.
Love it.
All put in our leave.
Love it.
And my wife's coming across.
Even better.
She's never been to New Zealand.
She's never been to...
Neither have I, so I'm looking forward to it.
Love it. And when you go to New Plymouth, it's one of the most beautiful places on the planet. So very nice. G'day to Mint Collectibles. Laddie Smiley's joined us. Chris, appearance next week. Maybe we could get him back. He's in the room next door.
I know. He won't come on.
He will. We'll get him on.
He's the fun sheriff. Whenever there's any fun to be had, you just know Chris will be knocking it back.
Yeah, that's his job. That's what he gets paid for, to be fair. Luke, the Taranaki won't be playing in Brisbane at the moment. We might do a trial here next year. I think we'll bring the team over and we'll have a trial run. But no, we actually play in the New Zealand League, so all our games are over in New Zealand.
Luke knows all about Taranaki.
He does?
He does, because he comes into the local card shop.
Where there's a jersey.
There's a jersey hanging there, so yeah. Anyway, let's talk about some cards. You want to
Card Chaos.
hit the button? Because I can't remember which one it was.
You got know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run.
You bet. Count.
See what happens when you don't have a professional singer with us?
I am a professional singer. What are you saying?
Well, I'm saying we missed.
What we should do is move this closer.
I don't know the chords.
Maybe we shouldn't do that because of the chords.
Ruby's done a great job setting us up. Look,
what's going on this week in the card world?
It's good to see Mint online because I think they will have some input into this. But I wanted to talk about TCG and what's happening in the TCG space.
And when we say TCG, we're talking Pokemon.
Trading card games.
Yeah, but we're talking Pokemon. We're talking...
No, we're talking everything.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
We'll talk anything about this.
What else is in that
That's
market?
the thing.
Yeah.
Disney have entered the market.
Oh, TCG.
In the TCG market. Now, the latest release
Is that like those ones we got, the like Mickey Mouse ones and stuff?
No,
'Cause
they're
not like
just cards.
Yeah,
They're just cards. So the latest release has been Star Wars Unlimited. So the first release of Star Wars Unlimited came along now. At local card shop, we got a... they're commenting on it right now. We did a pre-order of it. We weren't really sure what was going to happen with it. We got it, and now we don't have it anymore because it just went out.
Well, Mid's saying it's unlimited. It's going to be huge.
Well, it's not unlimited, but it is. That's the name of the set.
Oh,
it's not.
There
like,
you go.
Yeah,
It is limited.
It is limited, but
what can I get? Is it a game?
So I would describe the cards as looking very Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
So that's the kind of style of cards, but it is a game, and people are
playing
it. We had some people in the shop yesterday. I think we had five of them.
And how do they know how to play?
I guess they learn. They're smarter than
But
us.
it's new, this is new?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Brand new. So I think it's
that's massive for Disney, John.
Yeah, and then last year in August or September they launched Lorcana, which is
What's the Lorcana?
It's another trading card game, but probably aimed at younger kids because it's an animated movie.
Oh, okay.
So they've really come into it. So I mean, when you think about Disney and what they could come in with all their
Moana?
franchises, they could come in with them.
I've been standing at the edge of the water.
You got kids, don't you?
Or Let It Go.
Oh, let's not.
No, let's not do that.
No Frozen. But
that's the sort of thing they will bring out, don't you think?
Of course, because the other thing that I found when I was digging around the www the other day was...
That's the World Wide Web.
Yeah. MSN News, they had an article written talking about how TCG is an alternative to screen time. So they're saying put down your screens. If you want to have that social interaction, play a trading card game.
Like it.
And they reviewed a couple of different trading card games, one of them being Star Wars, which they said was just absolutely brilliant for any Star Wars fan.
So has anyone on the line actually played it? Like Mint, have you guys played it yet?
I'm sure they would have played
Is it hard? Like, is it... Because I find a lot of these games really confusing.
Because we're old.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I'm smart, though.
We are old.
I'm not that smart, to be fair. But it's like... Remember, what were those World of Warcraft? Not World of Warcraft. What was that?
Warcraft.
Dungeons and Dragons and all that sort of
yeah.
stuff. Like, I understood that because that was a dice roll and that meant something. Whereas if my power was stronger than yours and all that sort of stuff, it's plays fantastic. Not too complicated. My wife's just joined. Hello, Simone.
Oh, hello. And she waved.
She waved. That's nice.
Really cool.
First time listener.
Long time listener, first time call. How is Simone?
She's doing well. She's doing real well.
Good.
She's obviously very bored at home because she's listening to us on a podcast.
Well, maybe she should be playing a TCG.
We could. I'm going to bring a TCG home and we could play it. My whole family, 6 of us around the table. No arguments or fights can happen there, is there? Like Monopoly. I'm barred from Monopoly.
Yeah, I just see Archer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He'd be into it up to his eyeballs.
Oh, without doubt. Mate, I'm barred from playing board games at my house, though, because I play by the rules, right? And Monopoly, you know how everyone has family rules?
Yeah.
Yeah, not my house.
No, because you
I've
would
been
make
barred
them up.
from the entire family from playing that game. But anyway, moving on.
But
TCG.
I just think from my point of view, it's just... What did I call it? I called it a 30-year phenomenon that might just be going to a new level.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it's just with Star Wars coming in on it now, just what can happen after this is
What
big.
effect does this Star Wars one, let's say that, have on Pokemon? Excuse me.
Look, I think it's going to, again, like renew the interest in Pokemon because I think people will come back in that have been out of Pokemon for a while because Pokemon's a young...
Has Pokemon ever done like a crossover? You know how Magic the Gathering did those crossovers?
No, they've just done another one too with Fallout, you know, the computer game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So they did Lord of the Rings, didn't they?
Lord of the Rings,
yeah.
and they did Jurassic Park, and they did Doctor Who.
But Pokemon's always just been Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's interesting because Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, has his cards, V Friends.
Yep.
But his are all based around human psyche and the
monkey.
Moral monkey.
Yeah.
It's all about morality and stuff. But the big thing with him is it's not a game as such, but he's looking as a long game. He actually sees this as a Pokemon of the future. So it's really interesting. You see, like, these big boys, because they're not small.
Disney
have pretty much bought everyone now.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if they'll go into sports. They've got ESPN, they've got all the sports channels they own.
They could do it. They've got a lot of sports movies. You go to Disney Plus, there's like sports movie after sports movie.
Do you reckon that's a play? You heard it here first. I reckon it's a play.
Fanatics move over.
I reckon
Disney's coming in.
Disney's coming.
No, I don't think so.
Does Disney buy Fanatics?
Maybe. Who knows?
That could be interesting.
But to your question about the Pokemon, I think, it definitely increases the interest in that because the 40-year-old that collected Pokemon when they were 10 and loved Star Wars comes in and starts playing this Star Wars game and then goes, I love the Pokemon, and they come back and start looking again.
It's interesting because Star Wars was in the 80s originally, wasn't it?
70s. Yeah.
So you've got like our age that were fans then.
Well, we grew up.
Then they redid it. And now, like, I was talking to one of the boys the other day and I said, well, if you were to watch Star Wars again, how would you watch it? And the older one said, I'd go the originals and then watch it in order. He goes, no, I watch it 1 through 57 or something.
If you look at it, right, you and I grew up Star Wars number 4. That was it, right?
Yep.
Chris, our mate, at the same age that we were then, that's when the new ones would have started coming out.
Yeah, so then he's
so that's
watching
a whole
those.
new generation of people come through that way.
Well, that's what they've done here, isn't it?
Yeah, and now they're bringing in TCG and things like the Mandalorian series and all those kind of things, and the interest never wanes.
It's very clever.
They're very clever.
I like it. I like it a lot. So we should get our hands on some Star Wars Unlimited sealed boxes. Keep them sealed. Lock them away.
I would, yeah.
Like
I seriously would.
What's the Pokemon first?
The first edition. Yeah.
Be that sort of thing, wouldn't it? Potentially.
I don't think so because back in those days, people didn't think like that. That's why they're so rare because people didn't buy boxes just stashed back then. Now everyone seems to be doing that. I think it'll have a massive boost, but a $200 box, $200 box, I don't think will ever be worth $30,000.
What's a Star Wars box cost me?
$200
For how many packs?
I think must be 24 packs. I'm just trying to think because
is there like collector cards in there? Like is there like shinies and foils or whatever?
16 cards per pack, which I love.
16. That's a lot of cards.
Yeah, and there's I think 3 specials.
Okay.
There's 1 holofoil and there's these little ones and they've got little thing. I gave a pile of them to Chris and said, mate, can you do the research on these? Because I don't know.
Is there a chase?
Yeah, well,
is there one?
I'm guessing there would be. I don't know what that might be.
That's so cool.
It's definitely interesting.
Suns cards collector will be a very happy man at the moment.
He would be.
How good are the Suns going?
Yeah, they're going all right.
They are good.
Yeah, they've got to just look. They are going so well. I'm really impressed. I went to both their games and really loved. Last Saturday night, I loved it. I loved the wet weather game of footy. It was just different.
What's crowd like?
They said I think it was about 13, 14.
That's not bad.
No, it wasn't bad, but I would have liked to see more. The week before, they had a really good win against Richmond, sellout game. But no, they played really well, but they've got to not give everyone a heart attack by falling asleep.
Yes.
At least Brisbane fall asleep and we lose, so we get punished for falling asleep.
Fair enough.
They get fall asleep and they don't lose. The next thing. This is something I've been waiting a month to talk about. This is dead set.
What are we talking about?
The Caitlin Clark effect.
On what?
On trading cards. So Caitlin Clark, you can explain to everyone who she is.
The now greatest college basketball player in history.
Points-wise, yep.
Points-wise, other than Pistol Pete Maverick.
Really?
It is, but it was done at a different time. There's a whole pile of shit that went around. So Pistol Pete's Pistol Pete. That'll never change. And did it in like 4 games as opposed to 150.
Yeah.
But she is now the highest scorer, the greatest player. She's the GOAT of college basketball.
You saw how she broke the record.
Yeah.
3-pointer from the logo.
Yeah, as you do.
Just ridiculous.
Just pull up and go bang.
I don't know that there is a more marketable person in basketball, men or women, maybe Bronny. But outside,
that'll be an interesting conversation. We'll go there next.
Yeah, because she's got like, I don't want to sound rude, but she's got the look. She's not she's a good looking girl.
Mm-hmm.
She plays just phenomenal basketball.
Yep.
She seems to be a ripper person.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing not to like about her. And
she's not Australian.
And then they say, "Oh, go to the WNBA next year." She goes, "Well, no, I'm still playing college."
So she's playing college next year?
I want to finish my degree.
Love it.
So,
and the thing about it is she makes more money in college than she will in the WNBA anyway.
True.
And now off court, because of the NIL stuff, off court she's going to make an absolute shit ton.
Yep. It's just the female Steph Curry. That's exactly right. So I was interested in her trading cards, right?
Yep.
So
is there many?
Yes, there's the Bowman University set. So there's two lots of sets that have got her in it.
That she's in it, yep.
So the interesting thing was the number of cards being graded, Caitlin Clark cards being graded. So March last year there was 34 total. And in the 3 months to February...
3 weeks.
3 weeks, sorry. 3 weeks of February this year, they'd done 1,151 in 3 weeks.
That's PSA, yeah?
PSA. Yep.
Wow.
So they do 75% of the American market.
Yeah.
So you can say that's a fairly good
Wow.
sample size. And if you have a look, during the months that they went from 34 to 90 to 200 to 200, and then the off-season came and it stabilised around 300. And then since the season started, it's been going 300, 500, 700.
Wow.
And the other stat, which was amazing, that the previous record for a women's basketball card being sold was 11,500.
Do you know who that was?
That was...
Not on your thing.
No, it's not on there. I don't remember who it was. But she decided that, she didn't decide, but someone decided in January to pay $78,000 for one of her cards.
Whew.
So that's 7 times the record in one go, bang. So what's going to happen in the future?
Mate, a friend of the show who we know pays big money for cards, I reckon, if you mention that, the last lot we just graded.
Oh, yeah. Well,
said
she's a female Jordan.
100%. He's a big Jordan collector. That's the sort of shit that he'd be on, I reckon.
So I went and had a look, because my question here is, are women's cards good investments?
Yes.
Right? I went and had
Mine,
a look.
huh?
Well, interesting.
Number 9, I just saw it on the bottom.
She might have come up on the second page with the numbers. But so I went, and they recently did a top 25 players of all time in the WNBA, and Tamika Catchings was the number 1 player, 7-time Defensive Player of the Year, 10-time All-Star, yada, yada, all the rest of it, right? Voted number 1 greatest WNBA player ever.
The actual GOAT, Lauren Jackson.
No, but her card, her most expensive card sold on eBay was $200 for a gold prism.
Who's that?
Tamika Catchings.
Really?
Yep. Best player ever in the NBA, voted by a lot of dumb people. $200. A rookie PSA 9 sold for 170 of hers. Now, Lauren Jackson, who was rated number 9.
I've spent more than a Lauren Jackson card.
Hers were a little bit more expensive, interestingly, but I think that's got to do with probably twice, like having the Australian market.
Yeah, I agree.
But her rookie card was $300.
Yeah, interesting.
And they were drafted the same year, 2001 draft. So you're looking at these GOATs, right? Tamika Carriage, Sue Bird, all these kind of players, and their cards, they're not worth near as much as
but
what
this
happens.
young college girl
has just hit it out of the park.
$78,000.
Surely the Caitlin Clark effect takes hold, especially when she hits the NBA and people start looking at WNBA cards.
So do you think that she will take more people to the WNBA now once she starts playing there?
100%.
Because there's another girl, and her name, the one that had the 3-point shootout against Steph.
Oh, yep.
She brought out a pair of shoes, right? Nike brought out a pair of shoes, and they're called, it's not Simone.
Simone's your wife.
Simone's my wife. Anyway, whatever they're called. And I was talking to Tobias Cameron, and I said, what are you wearing on your feet? And he goes, Flynn bought me a pair of her name, number 1s. And so they're a lot of the pros now are playing in her shoes. And it's really interesting that she's got this shoe contract. And she's obviously a good shooter. She's probably one of the best in the WNBA. Sabrina, that's it. Sabrina Iensko.
Yep.
So the Sabrina 1s are one of the best-selling shoes for Nike at the moment for the pros to actually wear. It's really interesting. So what's a Sabrina card worth?
I haven't even looked.
If you're getting this, that'd be really interesting for next time. Let's have a look at that.
So we have a lot of arguments. Everywhere you turn, there's arguments about, the women should be paid equal to the men and all the rest of it. And I actually don't believe that. Right?
I don't agree.
I believe the women should be paid commensurate to what they bring into the game.
Agree.
This is going to change what they get paid.
Agree.
Because they're going to the interest as soon as eyeballs start watching the WNBA, the television revenue, the ratings.
Oh, without doubt.
And then they'll get what they deserve.
But it's interesting because it's not just in the US.
No.
Like this Caitlin effect has gone global.
Yeah, of course.
Which is similar to what happened with LJ back when she was playing in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
But on the weekend, and a massive shout out to Lauren Jackson, to me is the GOAT of basketball, and she's up there with Jordan from my books as an Australian basketball player, the greatest ever. She's 42 years old. She turns 43 next month.
So just only slightly younger than us.
Yeah, and she just won the WNBL Grand Final.
Oh, no, and that's her swan song. That's it.
But the big thing for her was all she wanted to do was win a Grand Final with her 2 sons watching. And they were both there at the game, and at the end she goes and gives them a hug and stuff. And like I'm a big warm fuzzy person. I love that sort of shit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the fact that I think it was in game 1 or to get into the grand final, she had 38 points.
Yep.
So it's like you still got it.
Skill is not temporary.
Watch this. She'll play Paris.
Well, she said she wasn't.
I know. Just watch this.
She'll be there.
I reckon
just don't know
she'll
if
play.
playing. I'd love her to play.
I
because
reckon she will.
It's still one of my sporting highlights was seeing her play last year in the World Championships when I was in Sydney. That's when I caught up with Jacob, in fact.
Yep.
It was just a highlight, and the crowd there was there to see one person. Australia lost. No one cared. It was just
I was there
crazy.
to see LJ.
Yeah,
I had the pleasure of meeting her earlier last year, and I can speak to anyone. I've met lots of people. I don't really care who they are.
No,
And I've always
Sterling
said,
Hinchcliffe.
I've always said if I met Lauren Jackson, I don't think I'd be able to talk. So obviously Anstey and Bilston both knew this.
Yep.
So we've walked into a function and she's standing there and they've called her over straight away and I'm sitting there, you bastards. And they've come over and I've gone, okay, Lauren, lovely to meet you. And I just was very articulate and I was really proud of myself actually. One of my proudest moments in life.
So you had happened to you what you do to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Love it.
Caitlin Clark effect, what's the Bronny James effect?
Well,
There's two halves of this, because some love, some hate.
the worry is how he's going to play on the court.
Is it?
Yeah, well, for the effect to take place, he has to be a good player.
Does it?
Yes, because no one will want his, and we're talking trading cards.
Yeah.
Right? No one's going to want his trading cards in 10 years' time if he never suited up and went onto a court.
So I don't agree. I reckon if he completely stuffs it up,
You reckon it's better?
I reckon he's going to get more money for his trading cards.
Wow. Because there won't be as many, mate.
Yeah, but also if you look at it, like I love listening to all these different commentators and they're saying, oh, he'll go in the 5th round. And he's going to go round 1. He'll go top 5 because whoever gets him will get like LeBron. And even LeBron at, what's he, about 112 now?
That's how many flops he has per game.
Oh, is that what it is? But he's 43 or 44. He said he wants to play with his son.
And
So he'll go wherever his son goes.
So
Package deal.
I liken this, and it's a long bow, but I liken this to Carmichael Hunt being signed by the Suns.
Okay, how are you going to get there?
Because it's not about whether or not LeBron wins games for that team.
Yeah.
It was never about Carmichael Hunt winning games for the
jersey
Suns.
sales.
It's about publicity and jersey sales.
100%.
And both of them brought, or Carmichael Hunt brought that in spades to the Suns. And that's what LeBron will do. Wherever he goes, they're talking OKC now as being a suitor.
How good
He
would
goes
that
there,
be?
the number 23 jersey at OKC will sell 1 million in the first day.
Well, you look at when David Beckham went to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
One of the biggest contracts in history at the time. They reckon they sold enough jerseys the next day to cover his contract.
Buddy Franklin's another one. They talk about Buddy selling enough jerseys.
Whereas I listen to a lot of podcasts, and one of my favourite podcasts
It's Card Chaos.
is obviously second to Card Chaos, is Matty Johns and his son. Now they've got a new podcast called Backstage, and Cooper just literally takes a piss. He's 24 years old. This kid, articulate and funny. And the thing
got
is,
catfished in Las Vegas.
he did, yeah.
It's
But
pretty funny.
the best thing is he's now working with Kyle and Jackie O, and he's got this massive career. And takes the piss out of himself about not being a good footballer, right? He played for Manly, he played for Melbourne, and at the start of the year, no one took him on, no one gave him a contract, so he made this massive retirement letter. And in the retirement letter, I'm just announcing my retirement from football. I'd like to thank Bellamy. I'd like to thank all these guys. And he went through this whole thing. So clever that at the end of it, mate, media companies are picking him up everywhere.
Oh, they want him because he's...
Yeah. I want Cooper Johns cards.
But
But the reason I want Cooper Johns cards is because of that, right? So I liken that very roundabout to Pat McAfee.
Oh, Pat
Right?
McAfee, yeah.
So my Pat McAfee collection, which is substantial, is worth a lot more money now because of the
TV
fact
show.
that he's in WWE, he's got his own TV show on ESPN, he's got this, he's made all this money, he's done all this. And the thing is that he was a punter for the
The Colts.
Colts.
Yep.
And decided that he didn't want to do that anymore. So turned down a $6 million contract to go and make people laugh. And the fact is he's made $350 million since.
Why? By doing his podcast.
Yeah, his podcast.
What are we doing wrong?
Nothing. Anyone would like to pay us $350 million?
Yeah,
Welcome.
Look, I'd even give a discount. Cashback. 10% cashback.
$349.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting though. So I reckon what's going to happen to Bronny, the reason why I mention all that is because it doesn't matter whether he plays good, bad or ugly. It's the big thing about is how many shirt sales did they get? The first ever father-son.
That's why I think OKC are in the box seat to do it, because they've got so many first-round picks already in their team. They've got so many first-round picks coming up for the next
Imagine
few years.
LeBron there for 1 or 2 years.
They're not going to lose anything by taking him. Whereas, like, if you're a Utah Jazz, Utah's another one's got a heap of first-rounders as well. But if you're a New York Knicks and you've got one first-round pick for this year, doing that may not suit your team for success on court. So
That's
you
true.
might. But these other teams have got first-round picks all around them. Why not? I watched the Jazz game on the weekend. I didn't recognise one player.
Sad when you support a team and don't know any of them.
They just all left. Anyway, but yeah, it's interesting. Have a look at the time. We have...
We've gone 31:59, 32 minutes.
That's over time.
Is it?
Yeah,
Why?
because we're 30 minutes now.
30 minutes
So
every 2 weeks.
we might keep our next segment for next week.
Okay.
For two reasons. One is page 2 of our run sheet didn't print.
That's a good reason.
And two, the timing part of it as well.
Mate, I enjoy this.
But I did.
When next time we've got a guest coming in?
In 2 weeks' time, we
Is
do
he
have
coming
a guest.
or are we phoning?
We'll be phoning him in. So
Okay.
we'll be in studio, what we'll call it, 2A.
2A.
Studio 2A.
Yeah. On Card Chaos version 17.
Yep. And we're going to have a guest from the card industry.
Nice.
Someone that will provide a little bit of a smile or two, actually, a bit of fun.
Well, I want to give a shout out to the second best basketball podcast on the planet.
All Don't Lie.
Ball Don't Lie. I'm in the...
Why is there the second best?
Because there's one better, which
You're
I'm
talking
not
about
allowed to
Chris.
mention, which is Has Been Hoops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why aren't you allowed to mention him?
Well, I can, but I didn't want to make Ball Don't Lie feel bad.
Yeah, well, I would say this. Ball Don't Lie is the best podcast recorded in Queensland for basketball.
There you go. I'll give you that. That's not bad.
No,
Not bad.
Mal's a legend.
But the thing is, like, he's a loyal bloke.
Oh, mate, we love him.
And do you know what I love? I love the fact that he keeps thanking the local card shop. He keeps doing...
Crack them.
But the thing is, he interviewed Chris Anstey, who, as most people know, is one of the owners of the Taranaki Airs, and they've had this really, really good podcast. And the thing is, it's I love listening to it, and I'm halfway through it at the moment because he's so enthralled and excited that he's got Chris Anstey on the other end of the line. You can see he's a big basketball fan.
So
Not just an Anstey fan, but a basketball fan.
the minute that he finished that podcast,
On the phone?
he was on Messenger saying, Rob, I can't believe it. Thanks for making sure that happened. And was like, mate, I just told Brett to get it done, and Brett got it done. So,
But the big thing is, I love it from the fact is when someone's that excited about storytelling and those sort of things, and Chris is really articulate, like he tells a great story.
yeah, but flick it the other way and look at it from having an ex-NBA player who's willing to go on and do a
100%.
podcast like that.
Yep.
There are players that aren't as worthy of the accolades that Chris Anstey had that would just turn their nose up at things
Yeah,
like
of
that.
course
And
they
that's a credit to Chris as well because, he's always willing to. We've got friends down in Melbourne at the moment.
Yep.
And he's made them welcome at his pub and done all
Love
the rest of it. So
I love it. So if you get to go to Hotel Trentham,
Yeah.
they're an unofficial sponsor of this podcast, but it's...
and they're an official live site for the Taranaki Airs.
They are, and they will one day serve official beer. So it's all very official.
Excellent.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate
Have a great
you.
week. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Corsica Cards wants a shout out because he stayed on for the whole podcast.
So he tells me that he listens for about 5 minutes and then falls asleep.
Well, she's sitting there
And
going, I'm still here for the
he-
first time ever.
So-
Surely I get a shout out.
Not
Stuff
only
you,
will he-
Pete.
No, we'll give him a shout out because we've got to be
Oh, he's
nice
got to
to
fix
Pete.
the thing downstairs.
He's got to fix that, but he's also could be a future coach of the Taranaki Airs. He's on fire at the moment. He's taken a team that hadn't won a game in 2 years.
Yeah.
They're on a winning streak of 5 games.
Oh, go Pete.
West Brisbane Falcons GBL silver, I think. So quite an impressive moment.
Love it.
Brizzy
Breaks.
Breaks. Well, that's
Do we give him a shout out?
where are they?
Just as that. And Brizzy Breaks.
That's Luke. Luke, shout them out yourself, mate. You have. Of course
You
you
just
will.
did. And Brizzy Breaks.
So check them out on Instagram. They're two young kids do some small breaks.
Yeah.
Nothing huge. But
Mate,
they do it because they love it.
great
So-
kids in the community. That's
and
what we're
they come
after.
in and do a little bit of part-time work at local card shop,
Love it.
keeping us running.
What's the address?
793 Sand Street, Wollongabba.
112 steps from gate 2 of the Gabba.
Yeah, that's not a selling point for me at the moment.
Uh,
Adios, amigos.
Says,
See you guys.
peace out.
Bye.